Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Journey Podcast. I have an episode about momentum. And this came from, a couple of my clients last week that have been in a little bit of a funk. And I speak on this from experience because I've experienced this myself many, many, many times before. And this can come from anybody who's working on the five right now that's looking to kind of switch their, life situation, or anybody who's working full time as a coach and wondering why everything seems so bleak, right? And so there was two instances with two different coaches specifically. One of the coaches reached out to me saying that she's been in her head, that she's been in a funk. She doesn't really understand why she's not motivated. She's, just kind of like those times when every day just kind of feels like the same, and you're not really motivated. You're kind of just bored all the time, and you're like, I don't really know what's the point. Like, and it just kind of draws on. One of those times. And then I had another client who was like, I'm not even motivated to go to the gym right now. I'm not motivated to do anything. Like, I don't know what's going on. I've been in my head. And I've had these times before, many, many times. And what it usually comes down to is a lack of momentum in life, right? When your life lacks momentum, meaning that you are not on your way or like making progress or building momentum towards a specific goal, we as humans can get very dull and bored. One of the girls I was talking to, um, she's very young. She's not in college. So she, at an age where she should be in college, she's not in school. She's working, she has her own business. She's making, 6K a month as a very young adult. And like, that's more money than most people make getting out of college. And so she doesn't have to worry about, finances whatsoever, probably for the rest of her life. She never has to worry again. And she reached out to me and she's like, I just feel dull. And I'm like, well, think about it this way. You're very young. You should be in school, but you're not. You're living at your parents' house. You're done with work at 11, but you're also making more money than you know what to do with. You're probably just bored, right? Because sitting at home all day, yeah, sure, you're making money, but like after your expenses are covered, it's not that exciting, and you do get bored, right? And that boredom starts to creep into, questioning thoughts or thoughts in your head. You start to compare yourself to other people because you have the time to explore and like compare. And so I told her, I'm like, you're not, like, nothing's going on, you're just really bored. The other girl was the same situation. There's just like, no momentum keeping them forward. And so I told them, I'm like, what you guys need to do is pick a goal and take some actions towards that goal and make some big life changes in life's mood. Because once you start making momentum, you start feeling good and you start feeling excited. You have things to look forward to. That's why for myself, I'm always planting goals that I have way out in the future. So that way, every single day, I can actually make progress towards that goal. For example, right now, one of my goals is to go to the Philippines, right? I want to go to the Philippines with my friends. And so, me building momentum is like, hey, if I'm ever bored, I can go online and search up hotels. I can search up plane tickets. I can like actually start planning it out. And that momentum starts getting me excited. Now I'm looking forward to that event, and I'm able to act every single day, carrying myself forward closer and closer to that event. But I need that kind of goal in order for me to build that momentum. I was also talking to my friend, or this very same person, um, said, you know what? Like, maybe it's time for you to move, like move out of your parents' house. You're making good money. You can afford your own rent. You've been at your parents' house for a while, but you're kind of just like bored chilling there. Like, maybe move to a new city, maybe move out into your own place. Like, just keep that momentum going. So that way your life feels like it's actually continuing to make progress. Otherwise, you're going to feel stuck. And that feeling of being stuck is actually what leads to a lot of those negative emotions. So, for you guys, what I want you to take away from this is that if you ever feel like life is just like bleh, then question yourself, are you building momentum? Do you have momentum? And if not, what you need to do is you need to take some freaking action and get started. I'm going to plug PTBI here, but because, some how do I explain this? I'm going to plug PTBI because when someone's working a 9 to 5 and they feel like their day is just mundane, it's the same day over and over and over again. Well, they don't, when they join PTBI, they feel immediately better the second they join. Not because they signed their first client, not because they've taken their business full time, but because they're building momentum. They said yes, and now there's change. That change makes them feel good. right? And so that's an example of building momentum. It's like you don't even have to get to the end goal yet, but as long as you're making progress towards your goal, that momentum is going to lead to positive feelings. So anytime you're feeling stuck, just ask yourself, where's my momentum? Am I building momentum? And if not, take some action to start taking steps closer to your goals. Hope that helped, guys. We'll talk in the next one.